It's eat down month. Our freezers are overflowing. We have a lot of random ingredients in our kitchen pantry that I want to use up. And I do usually do an eat down month every quarter, but I have yet to do one this year. So let's go through it together. I start by inventorying our fridge, freezer, and our pantry. I write down every single thing that we have, every ingredient in a giant list. I also try to reorganize our pantry, fridge, and freezer at the same time too. It can be a bit chaotic. Then I'll print a blank calendar and I'll either assign meals to a specific day, or I'll write down all of the different meals that I could make on one big list. And then we just pick something off of there and then cross it off as we eat it. I also started a grocery list because sometimes I'll need to pick up 1 or 2 random ingredients just to finish a meal. This whole process only takes about an hour total. It's not bad at all. It saves us a lot of money because we're making sure that we're not wasting any food, and we're always using up what's close to expiration. I'm Maria. I share a lot of from scratch cooking and conscious consumerism content. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and like this video if you find this information helpful. I try to do eat down months once a quarter, so every March, June, September, and December, but you can do this however many months work for you. I found that once every 3 months is ideal for our household. I skipped the eat down month in March unintentionally because we didn't really need one, but now I really do. We will usually have very small grocery trips during the eat down months, so we'll typically save around $400 when we do an eat down month. It has also led to some creative meal combinations that we actually still eat today. So if you need to save some money, eat down your food before it expires, and want to just lower your waste, join us and try it. I'll take you through my whole process from start to finish. So grab your pen and grab your paper. We're gonna do the inventory part first. Okay, here's our kitchen pantry. I don't count things like rice or flour or like chocolate chips and baking goods. I'm mostly looking at grains and nuts that I have here and like sides. So I've got my blank notebook. I'm just writing down approximately how much I have of each thing. Next, we're moving on to the fridge. So I have 3 tofu. We're having a tempeh today for dinner, so then I only have 1 tempeh. Red peppers, purple potatoes, Brussels sprouts. That's everything to use to make a meal. I don't count things like cheese, and I don't count onions and shallots. So that's what we got for these. Let's move on to the freezers. I swear our freezer's not always like this. We've got red peppers. We've got some sweet and sour, caramelized onions. This is frozen dill. This looks like tomato sauce. We have aquafaba, lime juice. Okay. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna quick put this away. Okay. Okay, and then this is our chest freezer where we have overflow. There's kind of a little bit of everything in here. Okay, we have tater tots and scalloped potatoes, raspberries and cranberry pulp, blueberries and pineapple. Looks like we'll be doing some smoothie bowls. We've got pot pie filling and pie crust. Tons of pierogies still. All right, freezer is now organized. Okay, so next up, I'm planning all of the meals with those random ingredients and writing a meal plan on the calendar. Sometimes I'll write it in a notebook and then I'll transfer it to the calendar. Today, I just went right to the calendar. I have 2 pages of random ingredients in my notebook and I'm writing the list of meals I can make out of them. I just Google blank calendar and print out a sheet, and then I will write each meal in a box and then add it to the fridge. I just like to make sure that we're not eating the same meal every single day for a week just to get it out of the freezer. So I try to space out pasta and soups and stuff like that. We don't hold ourselves to it very strictly. There are often times we rearrange, so we usually just highlight a meal off the calendar when we eat it. You could also just, instead of doing a calendar, just use a list and cross it off that way too. I've done both ways before. I just kind of want it laid out for us right now, so it's one less decision to make this month. We've definitely had some meal fatigue lately where we have no idea what we want to make or eat and just kind of throw things together last minute. I also make a separate list at the same time to add ingredients to in case we're missing something and don't have anything to substitute, so we do make a short grocery list for those random ingredients. I try not to overload the calendar with new recipes either because that's not gonna help. So I will usually only add 1 or 2 new recipes. To find recipes, I'll usually Google, like, for example, what's a recipe with chickpeas and lentils, 2 items that are on my list, and then browse through there. I usually end up having most of the other ingredients needed for a new recipe. A lot of the recipes that I wrote on this calendar are very basic meals, and sometimes we'll spice them up and change them up. I will also usually add fresh veggies as sides to almost all of them, so I don't track what we're going to eat for veggies either. It really just depends what we have on our fridge at that time. So we will usually do a couple small grocery runs during 8 down months just so we have some more fresh veggies in the fridge than what was in there now, and we'll get other things like eggs and oat milk, but this is really just a time for us to reset. I don't usually do a straight up start to finish pantry challenge where I can only eat what's in there and not buy anything different. I definitely think there's a time and place for that, but I don't plan to eat down every little thing so I have nothing left. Although if you want to see me do a challenge like that, let me know. If you've been here before, you know that I have a pretty stocked dry pantry as it is, usually just for emergencies, and I don't typically empty it completely, but I do try to get through all of our random ingredients every so often just so nothing expires. Being a recipe developer, I do buy random odds and ends often, which means I have a lot of random things in the pantry that are half used, so it definitely is something that leads to interesting creations. I don't want to waste any money or food or honestly even just pantry space because mine is so limited. It is definitely a waste of space if something sits uneaten for several months, taking up precious pantry storage in this cabinet. Okay, we've got our calendar done, so now it's time to eat our way through it. We do have a bunch of blank days. I usually leave some days that are blank because we tend to move stuff around or decide to go out to dinner some of those days. So we've got our calendar base and time to eat through it. That's how we kick off our Eat Done month. Start by organizing what we have and giving ourselves a plan that actually works for real life. It's not about perfection. It's about being intentional, wasting less, and saving money in the process. If you're overwhelmed by your pantry or just want to get a little bit more creative with your kitchen, I'd love for you to join me this month. I've got 3 new recipes that I want to try, so let me know if you want to see them. Whether you plan all of it out or take a more relaxed approach, it does make a difference not only for your grocery budget, for your peace of mind too. And there's no more decision fatigue because you decided what you were going to eat already. That's honestly the hardest part of being an adult, deciding what to eat every day. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and like this video if you found it helpful, or if you want to see more content like this. I'm hoping this month I'll discover some more weird but surprising combos, and hoping to get back to a simpler rhythm in the kitchen. Thanks for watching, let's get cooking, and see you next time.